is my strength. Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow.
All right. Good evening, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my chat. Okay, it's here now. Tajuddin Zainab, you are welcome. So you are the first person to join tonight. That's amazing. It's nice seeing you here. I excuse me. I intentionally start the class earlier than the time we announced. So I think we started. This is just 9:55 or so. It's because we have a lot to do tonight, and we like us to use every opportunity. So I have chosen a part of the material we'll be doing for final revision, and after doing it, we're likely going to attempt just one section of examination tonight, if God permits us, if we still have the energy. After this reading section, we'll take one section of exam, 70 questions, and see where that will lead us. I believe you guys can hear me. Big Eva, you're welcome. Talabi Esther, you're welcome. Jane Udo, you are welcome. Gabriel Chiamaka Gift, you are welcome. Can you hear me? Don't forget the rules. As soon as you join, give this video a thumbs up before you open the chat. Before you open the chat, give it a thumbs up before you open the chat. We'll be doing something very serious tonight, and that is one part you are likely not going to get to if you are to be reading your material from beginning. There is a tendency that you will not get to this part of the material before exam. So I'm jumping there. That's module 4. And that is because it's a very important part of your exam. There's no how you will not see one or two questions from this module. There is no how they want to set the exams that you will not meet one or two questions from this part of the material. So it's very important to go through it. Yes, my class captain Dora, you are welcome. Eniola, you are welcome. Sadiq Miriam, you are welcome. I don't know if Grace is here. I've not seen her. Anyways, we don't have time, so let's go straight to business, guys. The screen is right there before you. We are dealing with module 4 tonight, and we have 5 units to deal with tonight, or to read about. Unit 1 is about all the units are actually going to talk about reading diverse text. Reading diverse text. And then under reading diverse text, we're talking about types of text you are likely going to read about. We have the narratives, the expository, we have reading and comprehension passages with tables. Then we have scientific text, and of course, we have reading for interpretation and critical evaluation. This unit 5, mostly, so many questions are on this unit 5 in your question bank. The only thing is we cannot predict that this is the part of the question bank they will set questions from this semester. In any case, be prepared for anything. So we'll be taking all these units tonight by God's grace, and we'll pray for strength. So let's go straight to unit 1, reading diverse text, narratives. You guys already know what narratives means. Can someone kindly drop in the chat box the synonym for narrative? When we say narrative, what is the single word we can use to replace it. What kind of text are they? What do they do? In one word, give us another word for narrative text. Yes, Dennis, you are welcome. Juliet, you are welcome. Grace, you are welcome. Thank you, Janet. Stories. When you talk about narratives, you are talking about stories. It's as simple as that. So when you see a text in exam, a short story that they are asking you to identify what kind of text it is. Once you read it and it's sounding like a story, you don't need to crack your brain. You know that that is a narrative text. But how do you truly know if a text is a story? There are some stories that are description. Sorry, they are descriptions, like they are descriptive essays, and they look like stories too. So if somebody is telling a story, and for instance, if you are telling us about a town in your village, and the way you are telling us about the town, you are just describing the town. Then this part of the town is like this, the people of the place, they are like this, they don't go out in the night. Once So there is a tendency that you are going to mix up descriptive essays with narrative essays. But with tonight's reading, I'm very sure a clear picture should be in your mind. You should not sorry you should be able to overcome the doubt tonight, the doubt that usually arises when you are trying to differentiate between descriptive essays and narrative essays. So you'll be able to answer that question by the time we finish reading all about narratives and the rest of them. So the main thing we'll be talking about under narrative text, we have the narrative text itself, then the characters of narrative text. This is the important part of this narrative text, the characters. So when you read about the characters and you know them by heart, it becomes easy for you to, recognize a narrative text when you see one. Then we'll read about discussion of a story with the title I have found you a girl. So I'm going to find some people a girl tonight. Thank God we usually do that here. So those of you that don't have a girlfriend before this class, you will leave here with a girlfriend. Just make sure you have money in your pocket, because our girls now, they don't want I never chop. Is they want it's estate and island. That is where they want. They don't want another shop. Not come and suffer with one guy. So let's move straight to the introduction. This unit starts the beginning of a new series in this course, which takes you through diverse reading texts that you will come across in your academic life. Narrative text will be the first type of text to be discussed in this series. You are to study their characters and the picture and analyze some narrative text in this unit. So let's go to the important things we will be doing. Now, going straight to narratives itself, and then we will be reading some things here. Perhaps the most common of all the text you will find yourself reading from time to time are the narrative text. I have a question for you guys there. Complete this my question, because no exam, very simple exam, but complex if you don't know it. There is a classwork there. Everybody answer that classwork. Perhaps the most common of all the text you will find yourself reading from time to time are dash. What kind of text are those? I need you guys to answer that. Good evening, Lydia Sunday. You are welcome. I can see you. So everybody should answer that question. Narrative texts are common because they tell stories. And many people like interesting stories. If every teacher, facilitator or so will be using narrative method to teach, nobody will want to miss the class. So when you find any teacher that is use or any facilitator that is using what is it called, narrative method to teach, students will always want to be in that class. because the class will be interesting. People love stories a lot, want to listen to stories. Those of you that are just joining, please do me a favor. Before you join the chat, like this video. Just give it a thumbs up, then you open the chat and start your own contribution. So this second question I cut out is a real question in the question bank. Like, it's one of the questions that exist in the question bank. So you may be lucky that they will ask you in this semester that dash are common because they tell stories and many people like interesting stories. Another thing, or another way they usually ask this question is narrative texts are common because they dash. So if that is the one, just know that narrative and stories 5 and 6 they go hand in hand. So now this section introduces you to narrative text. Of course, there are there are different types of narrative text. Some tell a sad story, which is the tragic. So what's the name of the narrative text that tells a sad story? The type of narrative text that tells a sad story is called what? Those are questions in the question bank. When the turn out of event in a story is sad, what kind of story is that? What will you call that kind of story? Is it okay? Somebody said tragedy. Thank you. Now, why some make you laugh? What are the ones that make you laugh? What do you call them? Yes, this is going to be an interactive class. We have a lot to do, but we'll also make sure we interact. If I'm just reading and giving you a lecture method, you will not get what you are here to do. You are preparing for exam, so your brain must be following. Somebody said comic or comedy. Well, comedy, I will go for comedy because I love watching comedy. If you check my YouTube history, I'm always on YouTube 24/7 because as I'm working on my system, the the easiest motivation I get is watching comedy by one side. So one of my gadgets will be there playing YouTube from morning to night, and all I watch is always comedy, so that I will be laughing out my stress as I'm working or working rather. So make you laugh. Some stories are written in form of novels. These are called long stories. What kind of stories are called long stories? If you are asked in exam now, tomorrow is your exam, for instance, question 17 says some stories are written in form of novels. They are called dash. What are they called? What are they called? So stories that are written in form of, you'll be answering a lot of questions tonight. I'll be bringing out some things that you will not know they can form questions from, and seriously questions come out from them. Now, some are also written in short forms. They are called short stories. Now, I want you to define short stories in the chat box. In your own words, what are short stories? What are short stories? This one is a fill in the blank space. So you have to give short stories. When they say a story is short, what does it mean? Now, we've done enough in that paragraph. You need to read stories in order to increase your reading speed and comprehension rate. Let's do something. Let's do something. So, this narrative text we are talking about, why is it important for me to read it? I'm a student, I'm a science student, and all I want to know is how I'm going to build my own computer, my personal computer, or how I'm going to come up with one invention. You understand? One invention that will be a kind of a brain teaser for the generation. I mean, I want to build my own, I want to come up with my own invention. Why do I need to be reading stories? Or even when I'm a mass comm student, all I just want to do is journalism, like come up with real stories, not reading all those novels or a thing. In any case, why do we read? Why do you need to study stories? It's because they help increase your reading speed. Those of you that used to read novels a lot, you find out that you have a very high reading speed. Like some of you, they give you a book. Have you met people like that before, or you are one of them? That if they give you a book, you can finish a whole book in less than few hours. If they give you a book that is about 100 and something pages, people would think you did not read it, but you read it. It's because your speed is very fast already. How do you develop that kind of speed? You read and read and read over time. Consistency. As the more stories you read, so the reason why it is important to read stories, novels, is to build your reading speed, number one, and to increase your comprehension rate, because the more books you've covered in your life, the more understanding you have. So if somebody should just come to you tomorrow, for instance, the day that Big Eva, you know, went to Dora to toast her, if Dora is not exposed through extensive reading, if Dora has not read quite a lot of books, the same way Big Eva just came and said that, I am the first son of Buhari. We are so rich in my house. All those codes that Big Eva is telling Dora, Dora will just be doing, oh, Dora will just be there flushing. But because Dora is very exposed, she has read a lot of books, she know how guys can come and be telling you stories that are not real. So when Big Eva is just, trashing all those things, she was there busy looking. Okay, oh, continue, continue your lies. So you have high comprehension rate. Apart from exposure to general life, even your comprehension rate of other materials will become high, because you have read about tragedy, you have read about comedy, you have read about several types of um events in stories. So when you carry a random book, the way you understand it, it will be far better than when someone that has not been reading at all carry that same book and read it. So extensive reading helps your reading life, it helps your comprehension rate, and it increases your speed. So that is one thing you should know. I'm stressing this statement because it's a valid question in your question bank. Some of these things we keep telling you this one is a question. The thing is not, the question bank is very large. It's only by luck some of you will still meet these questions that we are stressing. Some of you may not see it. Now, stories also give you various experiences about life. Such experiences include joy, sadness, conflict, destruction, suffering, affluence, greed, avarice, and so on. Now, um let me ask you this simple question to know if you guys have been following. Okay, okay, so okay, I think I need to edit it so that it's going to make sense as a question. I want to ask you a very simple question, and I need you guys to answer that. That is a short classwork. That give you experiences like joy, sadness, conflict, destruction, suffering, and so on. So what is that thing that give you such experiences? Now, reading of stories can also increase your vocabulary power. From stories, you come across many words and expressions which become part and parcel of you as you read extensively. This one is valid. We have some of you that you are so full of vocabulary, like when you speak, sometimes people even think it's a professor that is speaking. And the reason why you're able to build that much is because you have been reading stories from your childhood. You love stories, you love novels, anything that has to do with romance, that has to do with tragedy. Some of you like horror movies, so you like reading books that deal with. So quite of you've been reading and reading and reading. So sometimes when you open a novel and you see a big word you don't know, But because the novel is very interesting and you want to know the meaning of that word, so that it will help your understanding of what is happening in that novel, you find yourself that you quickly go and check the meaning of the word. And when you find out the meaning of a word in that kind of situation, you will never forget the meaning of that word. So that is another thing stories help you to do. Now, we have talked about stories. You can see the things stories can help you to do. You can see the things story is all about, the types of it we have, the tragedy, or as you said, the tragic or tragedy, like some of you put it, the short one, the long one, and then the comedy, like we also said, and we've talked about the things that story give you experiences about, experiences like joy, sadness, conflict, destruction, and the rest of them. Now, what are the characters of stories? So that when I see a piece of writing or a text, I will be able to say that, this thing is exhibiting the characters of a story. So it is a narrative text. So with these characters, if you are able to digest these characters we are going to be talking about, it will help you to stay focused. When you see a question, you will not even brainstorm so much. You already know that from this thing, this kind of story or this kind of text is a story, is a narrative. First character of a narrative text that you must know is that narrative texts range from the ones written in an extremely informal style, full of slangs and colloquialisms, to the semi-formal or less formal ones. In most cases, narratives are not formal except a role is given to character who speaks in a formal style. One of the first characteristics of narrative text is that they are informal in nature. Just put that in. That is a summary of this whole grammar and everything that there. Okay, I think there is a big grammar here. Let's not go home without knowing the meaning of this colloquialism. What does it mean? Check it in your dictionary, check it in your AI, and give us the meaning. So quite a lot of you have not given my video a thumbs up, but I'm not going to be angry. Yes, I tell Deborah, you are welcome. So many people are just joining. You're all welcome. I can't be mentioning all your names. So that would take a lot of time. Let's just move on. The first character of narrative text is that what? They are mostly informal. I would like you guys to type it there in your chat there. Every one of you. Character number one. They are informal in style. They are informal in style. Yes, Felicia Kwaji, you are welcome. So narrative texts are informal in style. So when I'm reading a text in exam and it seems like this person is just making jest, this one is just this one is just too the words are not, they are not that mature, they are just speaking freely or so. That's so, the meaning of formal and informal now. Informal languages are the ones you use with your close relatives, your friends, your family members, people of the same status with you. You use informal language with them. The formal one is one you use in like office settings with people of higher ranks, with people in high position. When you want to address them, you address them formally. But the informal one is the language you use with close associates. So character number one of narrative text is that they are mostly informal in style. The second character you will know is that all narratives are to follow a storyline. So in exam, when you see all dash are to follow a storyline, starting with the background to the story, the plot, and so on and so forth. You should know that what they're asking you is this type of text. I will test you now. Let me test you guys. All dash are to follow a storyline. All what? Okay, yes, the meaning of, is it colloquialisms or lism? Let's remove the S. What is the meaning? Somebody has helped us, and that is Eniola. Thank you, Eniola. And Eniola said that a colloquialism or qualism, sorry, a colloquialism is a casual or informal word, phrase, or expression used in everyday conversation, but typically avoided in formal writing or professional speeches. I think the understanding is clear now. Can you give us an example of that colloquialism, like whether it's in your language or in English that you know? Give us an example of such words. It's used informal, everyday. Yes, you guys are all having the same meaning, but give us examples. Yes, we want to see examples of those colloquialisms. Give us examples. Gonna. Thank you, Dora. Dora said gonna. So I think Dora can complete that statement. I'm gonna give birth soon, because we're actually waiting for the time that the yam that Big Eva has planted in you will germinate and will come for naming ceremony, because the a piece of cake. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys already know that. So the second thing is that they will follow a storyline. And what do we mean by following a storyline? Starting with the background to the story, the plot. And then let me ask us a question. You guys, most of you are from mass communication. What does the plot mean? I think there is a question in TMA this semester that asks that question about the plot. What is the plot in a story? Yes, let's start testing ourselves now. The plot in a story, what does it mean? If you don't know it before, this is the right time to go and ask your AI or to go and search your dictionary. This is learning period. You can still search around now to know the meaning of what you don't know, because you will not be able to enter the exam hall with your phone. So please do the plot means unfold, the way the lines of actions are unfolded. Sadiq Miriam said plot means unfold story. Well, you can phrase it better. That your expression is confusing a bit. Now, the unfolding of the plan, the plot, which means the unfolding of the plan or an outline of events in a novel. The climax. I hope you guys remember that two questions came out in this semester's CMA from this place alone. One was the plot. The second one is this climax. What is the climax? The climax, which is the most exciting or important event or point in the story. So when we say, thank God that we are reading this. I never even knew where they got that question from when I saw it in TMA, but I just know that the answer is climax and plot. So let's answer that question. So if they are going to repeat that same question in the exam, you already know where they got it from now. The dash, which is the most exciting or important event or point in the story. If Dora don't want me to be dragging her and Big Eva, you guys should come and bribe me so that I'll look for another couples to be mentioned. Case, you are welcome. I think Case is one of my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, Case. Thank you. Those are my pro users. They have higher access than the rest of you. Well, those of you that are not subscribing, God will provide for you guys. It's just 3K. All right, so let's go to serious things. We have a lot to do tonight. The climax is often referred to as the most exciting part of a story. A storyline ends with the forward or the final part of the story, where all events have been fully unfolded and nothing more so exciting. The most important things to note here is that all narratives follow a storyline, and also you need to know the meaning of plot, the way the events are unfolded in a story, and the climax, the most exciting part of a story. Once you know those three things here, there is no question they want to ask you here that you will not be able to answer. So, but don't forget that what we are doing now is the characters of narrative text. The first one is that narratives are mostly informal in style. The second one is that they follow a storyline. I'll need somebody to be jot them down like that. You'll be adding the rest to it as we go on. Now, what is the third character of a narrative? What else will I notice in the text in the exam when they ask me what type of text is this? That will make me know that this is a narrative text. The third one is a good narrative keeps the reader in suspense. You want to know how it will end. That is what makes it a good story. So when you start reading that text in the exam and it's doing you like, so what happened? So what will happen? So what will happen? Just know that it's a story. It's a story. It's a narrative. So most narratives, oh, Angela Blinks, God bless you. I'm traveling out tomorrow. Somebody don't dash me 400. I dey travel out tomorrow. Those of you wey dey Naija, bye bye. I don get alert. Alright, so let's move on. Thank you. God bless you, Angel Blinks. The rest of you can copy her. You will not die. Just dash me money, abeg. I never eat since morning. A good narrative keeps the reader in suspense. That is one. Thus, when you become accustomed to reading an interesting story, you hardly want to drop the book until you finish reading it. This is because you want the suspense created to be unfolded. You want it to be unfolded. For example, a story may start with a mystery surrounding a particular episode or event. As you go through the storyline, the mystery is gradually unfolded. So that is the third character, or I think, is it third or fourth? Yes, that is the third character. Now, what is that third character all about? What is it all about? A narrative text contains a suspense. It contains a suspense. So when there is suspense in what you are reading, in that text, they show you, or they gave you as a question in exam, it's very easy to know that that text is a narrative because the text has created a suspense for you to unfold. You want to know how will it end. Once a question, how will it end, comes to your mind when you are reading the text in the exam, know that that text is a story. The reason why we need to dwell much on this narrative text is that although mostly they like asking questions on scientific text, mostly, but the reason why I'm trying to stress more on this narrative is that you are likely going to mix together narrative and descriptive. They are very close. So if you don't know these characters, you will not be able to identify strictly which one is descriptive or which one is narrative. So character number one. Yes, who is listing it for us? Let's do a short classwork. What is the first character of narrative text? Yes, they are informal in nature. Thank you. What is the second one? What is the second character? The second character of a narrative text. What will you see in the narrative text to show that this is a narrative text, or whatever I'm reading now is a narrative text? Yeah, Dora is saying it follows a sequential order. Well, I don't think that is the second one. Yes, a storyline. Thank you. That is the second one. And it's almost the same thing with what Dora is saying. Then what is the third one, which we just finished saying? The third one is what? You just give us the third one like that, and then we'll go to the fourth one. Now, the fourth one, a narrative follows a sequential order. That is the fourth one. Dora has already given us that. While the second one is it follows a storyline where you have the plot, you have the suspense and the rest of the plot and the climax. That is, the plot is the unfolding of the event. The climax is the most exciting part. That is, those are all under the second character. Then the third character talks about suspense. The fourth character is they follow sequential order. What does that mean? The event may be organized in chronological order of time, order of importance, or the end of seriousness of the event. So when you are reading a story, the way they will arrange it, they either arrange it in chronological order. What it means is that the one that happened first, then followed by the one that happened next based on time. Maybe the story started since 1954 and then the story was to end in 2000. Then they will not start from 2000 and start going back to 1954. They will start from 1954, that is arrangement chronologically. And then some style uses order of importance. How important that event is will be determined by where it is placed. So all you need to know about the fourth character is that narrative text follows a sequential order. What of the fifth one? Explanation does not form the major part of a story except when a particular character is invited in the story to give an explanation of a particular event or situation. One thing you will not find in narrative is explanation. God bless you, Keys. Jesus, my account is already doing press up or is doing push up already. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Now, explanation does not form the major part of a story. What this means is that once you see that what they are saying in that text given to you in the exam is explaining something, they are trying to explain, then this is does know that that one is not a story, is not a narrative. So, character number 5 is that narratives does not contain explanation. Only in few cases where part of the characters, that is those are the people they used in the story, are called to give explanation, but the story itself does not depict any form of explanation like somebody explaining something. No. Now, vividness. What is the synonym for vivid? I want you guys to tell us the synonym for vivid. When we say something is vivid, what does it mean? I know some of you use it every day, like you use it every day. That is a word you use. Those of you that are very rich in vocabulary, instead of using the common one, some of you use vivid. So what does vivid means? When we say something is vivid, what does it mean? It's obvious. Thank you. This person is using Madam Naomi. Clear. Thank you. Taiwo Hamzat. Thank you. Means something very clear. Thank you. So, which means narratives are vivid in nature, making all characters and events real. Even though what they are saying, the story, the characters they are using, they are not the real people that the thing happened to, they are just acting. But they will make it real, just like when you are watching a movie. You understand? It looks real. They won't say because they are acting the movie, then they will just be doing it anyhow. It's always vivid. Clarity is part of it. Interesting episodes, imagination are all qualities of a story. Now, this is vividness. And in the last character, in storytelling, exaggerations on true events, fables are acceptable. Why? Because it's a story. It doesn't really have to have happened. Whatever you are writing in the story or you're acting in the story doesn't really need to be something that has happened before. It can just be an imagination. In fact, there is a question in the question bank. It came out in TMA this year that says one of the following is a product of imagination. I don't know how they put that question, but it's very close to what I've just said. One of the following is a product of imagination, and that is narratives. Narratives are always, or mostly, not always, let's not use the word always, because some of them are real events that happen that were the record, that some people decide to record, but mostly they are imagination, something that did not even happen at all. That is why some of those movies, when you are watching them, you'll be doing, see lies, is because sometimes they exaggerate, sometimes it doesn't have to be true event. It can be something they just came up from imagination, fables, and the rest of them. Now you've known the characters of narrative text. I want somebody that has been following from character number 1 to list the 7 characters of a narrative text. So once you've done that, I will read the last part now, and then okay, I think that is okay. Now we have a story to read. I have found you a girl. Who am I going to find a girl to do? Somebody that dash me money. I will just link them up. this Saturday we have a wedding. You people should not put wedding during our exam because when the exam start we will not come for your wedding. So the seven, yes, let's see somebody that has been following. Let's be throwing them up in the, yes, throw them in. Just mention the one that you can remember. But we have 7 of them. We started from number 1. They are always informal in nature. We went to number 2. Keeping the reader in suspense is number 3. Number 2, nobody has given me number 2 yet. Okay, follow a storyline. Thank you. Yes, they follow a storyline. Number 3, keep you in suspense. Number 4, follow a sequential order. Thank you. Order. Number 5, who is giving us number 5? Who is giving us number 5? Let's see if we have been following. Yes. Who will remember number 5? Storyline is not number 5. Vividness. Okay, I think that is vividness. Number 6 is what? Number 7 is still on your screen though, but somebody should remember number 6. Okay, Eniola has given us everything in one shot. Number 5 is that explanation does not form. So explanation is not part of narratives. And of course, number 7 is here, obviously, that it can be an exaggeration, an untrue event or so. So the way they normally ask question on these characters is that sometimes they will just pick one of these character and say it belongs to which type of text. You should know that it belongs. So the way you've already understood all the characters, the 7 characters of narrative text we have now, if you are asked in the exam now, if they should mention one character and say this character belongs to what kind of text, I believe you'll be able to answer it. Now let's move on. Now that we have briefly outlined the major characteristics of the narrative, we will expose you to some narratives. Our aim is to analyze some of these stories to bring out some of the characters we have outlined above. Then we have a story here. I have found a girl. Because the title is very interesting, I will read it to us. We would have jumped it and go to the next thing, but I want us to read it. How did this person find a girl? What kind of girl did he find? Now even the question, sorry, the title alone is already a suspense. You want to know who found who, how did the finding took place. So, oh sorry, take place rather. How did the finding take place? Those are the things you want to know. Suspense. That's one character of narrative. Now let's read it and I will just rush it. It was Silas who walked up to Stephen one day and said unceremoniously, I have found you a girl. Now I want somebody to look for the meaning of unceremoniously, or just look for the meaning of ceremoniously. Then we will know that the meaning of unceremoniously is the opposite of ceremoniously. What? Anyone you want to look for. This word that is highlighted here, let me drop it for you guys there so you check it. Help us check for the meaning. Now, let's continue the story. So Silas, let's say Big Eva, no, it's not Big Eva. Big Eva found a wife already. Let's look for another guy here that is not having a girlfriend yet. Well, the names are just, I don't know who to pick. Now, you have found me a girl. That's a question. I did not tell you that I wanted a girl, said Stephen, without much enthusiasm. I know every one of you should know the meaning of enthusiasm, but for the sake of those that don't know what enthusiasm means, please check for the meaning of enthusiasm and let us know what it means. Dora says unceremoniously means doing something suddenly, rudely, or without politeness or formality. Thank you, Dora. So, what of the meaning of thank you? In fact, Angel Blinks gave us a direct synonym, unannounced. Thank you. All right. So, the second word there is enthusiasm. Now, Dora says enthusiasm means strong excitement, interest, or engagement about something. You know, that's that feeling you have when you are very interested in something, you want to know something, you are enthusiastic about it, and so on. So Every boy needs a girl, replied Silas dismissively, trying to run away. Now, you will like her. She is beautiful, fair-skinned like you. When Stephen did not make further comment, he continues. Her name is Margaret. And we don't have any Margaret here. Oh, I would have liked to dash one Margaret to one Silas here if we have them. So she's also called Linda. She's going to form one. She's going to form one at WTC Kaba. Same school with my girl, Becky. I tell you, you will like her. Pretty young, the boisterous Silas left as abruptly as he had come to chase some more girls, no doubt. Now, Stephen did not dwell on, oh, sorry, I'm rushing, did not dwell on what his cousin had told him. Instead, he wondered about him. He was always like this. He always had a way with women, considerably shorter than him, stocky and dark-skinned. Silas had always been attractive to women. He was like a magnet that pulled them irresistibly to him. As to the girl he said he had found for him, well, the story is long. Oh. In any case, this story is capturing most of the 7 characters of narratives. Well, this one is very long. Seriously, you are not going to say a long story like this in exam. They will just give you all those short ones, and of course, that is all. The most important thing is that you have learned the 7 characters of narratives. So, guys, we have a lot to do tonight. Let's not be reading love story in the class. After the class, you can go back if you are interested in that love story. Go and read it. Now, let's leave this and move on to another important thing we have tonight. Let's leave all of this. I have found a girl. It's just a way of practicing the characters we have learned about. You can see they are now explaining it. How did the story meet sequential order? It was arranged in an orderly manner. First, he came to inform his friend about finding a girl. Later on, he introduced them to each other. They had a meeting. So it was arranged in an orderly manner. That is the meaning of sequential order. Now, we'll be going to another important type of text. Now, in this conclusion, let's read the conclusion, even though we did not read all of the I have found you a girl. Narratives are possibly the most interesting of the diverse reading text you are likely to come in contact with. You should form the habit of reading stories, preferably novels. If you have not been reading them, okay, so form an habit if you have not been doing that before. Novels are interesting. They enliven your spirit. Please form the habit of reading them. Well, that is an encouragement to you. Now we have the second type of text. By reading this, what do we call it? By reading about narratives and the characters, I think we have done justice. So when I see a text in exam, what am I looking for? Is the text written in informal language? Is it in sequential order? Is it what's wrong with this material? So I think we have the second one here now. So what are the things I'll be looking for to know if the text is a narrative text? Yes, can we remind ourselves those characters again? Is it written in informal style? Does it follow a storyline? Number three is what? The next one we'll be going into is expository essay or text. expository text. That is the next one we'll be going into. Yes, informal style, and so on and so forth. Now, the next one is expository. So, in conclusion of narrative text, having understood the 7 characters, the most important thing you should know is that a narrative text is simply a story. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. In fact, the cheapest questions to answer in exam in GS101, there are questions that come under narratives because they are very obvious. They are very vivid. You can see that, yes, this is narrative. This is a story. I only pray you guys will not confuse narratives and descriptives because they are very close. Now, the next type of text we'll be dealing with tonight, I hope we still have time. Oh, we are just starting. Now, expository text. Let me ask you a very simple question. When you hear the word expository, what comes to your mind? Let's start from there. Let's start this second part from there. The very short question. In your own mind, now in your own word, let's leave non-verbatim now. What do you know about expository? When they say, or the only thing you know when you hear expository in your life is expo. Those of you that like carrying you chew paper, you put all those things you used to put under your wig and everything, they will catch you if you do that. Let me better tell you guys, if you go and put earpod under your wig, or you hide something under your hair, and when you get to exam or you remove it and put it in the PC, they will catch you. You are reading now so that you will not cheat, so don't even think of cheating. And one thing with none, let me tell you very seriously now, when you are caught, what they do is they lock your portal for 3 semesters. That is 1.5 years. You are not going to do anything in the school. You can't pay school fees, you can't do anything. So you'll be suspended for 3. Some of you, the offense is very grievous. They can suspend you for 6 semesters, 5 or 6. That is almost 2 3 years. So don't think of carrying expo. Okay, expository means to explain and to give information clearly. It will expose you to something you have not known before. If someone should come to us now and say, I want to organize a class on how to make motor cars, how to develop vehicles, how to create or couple together vehicles from scratch. That kind of person, that kind of event, what the person is trying to do is expose us to what we don't know before, because generally we all know vehicles. We just enter, we cruise, we drive, we enjoy, but we don't know how they were made from scratch. So if somebody is coming up with that kind of uh, tutorial or seminar for us, what that kind of seminar is, an expository seminar, is going to expose you to what you've not known before. Now, what are the things we'll be learning under expository? What are the things we'll be learning under expository? I think I need to bring it up a bit. Now, under expository, we'll be talking about features of expository text, and then we'll analyze some samples and discussion, just like was done in narrative text. Now, in introduction, we are progressing in our broad topic, which is reading diverse text, by exploring expository text in this unit. In this unit, you'll be introduced to what expository texts are, their characters, and the analysis of samples, blah, 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 blah. If you know how to tackle, okay, excuse me, let's read that. If you know how to tackle the text, then you have a very powerful academic tool. As you go through the unit, draw special attention to how expository reading passages are presented. The way they are presented does not only assist you to read them more efficiently, it also prepares you for writing such text, which means one of the most important things in expository text is their nature of presentation. So you should try to grab the nature of presentation. Now, What are the features of expository essay? Now, this is where you have to be very careful. Let's read it carefully so that we will get it. This one is not just reading to know. We want to pass the exam too. In the last unit, you were introduced to narrative text. We know that. Can you still remember the characters or there's the characters of narrative reading or reading text? I think you can remember. Yes, I think I can still remember some things like it's mostly informal, it must follow a storyline, it must be sequential in order, it must be vivid, it doesn't contain explanation, and so on and so forth. So I know you too, you can still remember some of them. Narrative texts are informal. They follow a particular, okay, they are trying to refresh your memory, a particular storyline. They keep the reader in suspense. They are ordered in a sequential manner. They are very vivid and imaginative, and so on. So, in this section of the unit, I will introduce you to expository text. By expository text, we mean reading text that explain an issue, a theory, a concept, or plan using a good work of art. This is very, very, very important. By expository, oh my goodness, Angel just top it up. 1K. Nobody ever dash me 1K in my life. Angel, you are the first person, you know. God bless you. Times 1 million. Now, by dash text, there's a question there for us. You guys should help me thank Angel. All of you, help me to thank Angel. Now, I have a question there for you guys. By expository, what do we mean? Oh, sorry, by dash text, we mean reading text that explain an issue, a theory, a concept, or plan using a good a work of art. That is a question. What is an expository text? That is the definition. What is an expository text? Yes, the answer is expository. Thank you guys. You guys are doing absolutely well. You are following. So, when I see a text in exam that is telling me, exposing me to like how to paint a house or how to set up your uh probably no, that one is not even expository. Like introducing you to a new concept, how to mix this thing together to get this thing, how to do this, mostly how to they answer questions like how to, those are expository text. And what did they do? They explain a kind of explanation, a kind of theory, a kind of concept, explaining a plan. But what they use in the explanation is they will use a good work of art to present that explanation. Now, expository reading materials do not tell story at all. They explain. They are not storytelling text. They are explanatory text. They explain. If you remember, one of the characters of narratives is that they don't explain. Explanation is not part of it. Now, the opposite is expository text. Expository text doesn't tell stories, but they explain. Please note the two difference. While narrative does not explain but tell stories, expository doesn't tell stories but explains. So, now that you have known what we mean by expository text, let's talk about the characters. Now we know that expository text are any type of text that gives us explanation, explain a concept, a theory, a plan using a good work of art. What are the characters? What will I notice in the text in exam when they put a story there for me to read and they say what kind of text is it? What will show me that this is an expository text? Why won't I choose a narrative text or a descriptive text? Why will I choose an expository text? Characters. Character number one of expository text is that they are more formal than narrative text. In most cases, abbreviation, contractions such as don't, isn't, and haven't, conversational style, and colloquialisms which may feature in narrative text are limited in expository text. Now, in fact, this is just like word and opposite. If you compare narratives and expository, it's just like you say word and opposite. So look at the first character of narratives then was that they are mostly informal. Now this one is they are mostly formal, and they don't use all those kind of informal slangs or languages that narratives use. They don't use contractions. Contractions means when you are cutting out, like all those do not, if you turn it to don't, you've contracted it. So that is, contractions are not mostly seen. So in fact, this is a very valid point and very good one. So when you are reading a text in exam and you see that this thing is sounding very formal, like they don't use all this. In fact, the easiest way is, once you are not seeing, it's not like you will not see them at all, but they are not that obvious, not that much like the way they use them in narrative text. Narrative text is a free type of text. You can use any expression, you can use slang, you can, but in expository, they are mostly formal. So character number one, expository texts are formal in nature, more formal than narrative text actually. The second one is that they do not tell stories. You just have to note that once the look of things is looking like a story, your answer is not expository. Don't even think to expository at all. It doesn't tell stories. They only discuss issues, concept, they explain plans and give reasons to support any viewpoint. When you sit under an expository teaching or seminar, you will be like, wow, so this thing is like this. Also, this kind of thing has been happening in the world. God bless Mr. Case. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. I'm shouting out your name 1,000,000 times. Thank you guys. You guys are really making my head to blow. It's like I'll be doing class every day now. So they discuss issues. Character number one, they are formal in nature. We're talking of expository text now. They are formal in nature. Character number two, they do not tell stories. That is totally the opposite of narrative text. Character number three, expository texts are organized in logical sequential order. This one uses logic. So if I want to tell you how to paint a room in an expository text, I'm going to start with the logic of you that you don't know anything about painting before. What do I start with? Do I first start by telling you the meaning of the concept itself, painting, then to the types of paint we have, then to how to mix your paint, then to the equipment you use, like the brush and the work of each of them. So it will use logic to present it so that the thing will be entering you. In fact, if we have some people who call expositors, this kind of people, when they teach you, if you sit under an expositor, you don't want them to finish. I don't know if you have sat under people like that before. You'll be feeling like, let this thing continue. The reason is that what they normally teach is they explain the concept, what you don't really know before. You might have been hearing about that kind of thing, but you don't know how it's really working. So somebody does come and expose you to how that thing is working. Those kind of people, they are expositors, and what they do is they explain, they open your eyes to what you don't know before. And the way they present their own matter is they use logic. They must present it logically and in a sequential order. So we are now seeing the difference between narratives and expository. We are not only learning the characters of expository, but if you are putting them side by side with what we've learned on narratives, you will find out that they are totally opposite each other. In fact, it's just like we are now saying the opposite of the characters of narratives for expository. Now, the first character we've mentioned above is that they are formal in nature. The second one is that they do not tell stories. The third one now is that they are organized in logical and sequential order. So, the ideas that the expositor want to pass to you will be logically arranged. The next one, which is the fourth character, is that expository text explain. So that is the fourth thing you should know. They explain. A short classwork list the first four characters of expository text. Everybody, that is a classwork. Yes, I'm waiting for that. Until you drop that, I will not go on with the next one. So the fourth one is expository text explained. The explanations are in clear-cut terms. They are vivid, interesting, and well thought out. Some good writers present ideas like a piece of onion. They unfold them bit by bit, one after the other. So that is what makes expository text very interesting. I want you guys to give me the first four characters of expository text. It discusses issue, it is formal in nature, it's organized in logical, which is sequential order, and it explains text. Thank you, our class captain. You've been following. Yes, don't say because somebody have dropped his or her own, you will not drop your own. Drop your own too. Khadija Mustafa has also done hers. Thank you. Let all the rest of us drop the characters, the first four characters. The first four characters. Dora is saying expository texts are more formal than narrative text. Thank you. They do not tell stories. Thank you. Expository texts are organized in logical sequence. Thank you. They explain text. In fact, you guys have been following. Thank you. Ah, Dora, you are such a special gem because you somebody of your nature, somebody that is already heavy. Ah, 2 months pregnancy is not easy, and your head is still hot like this. Big Eva, you are very lucky. I've not been seeing Big Eva. I hope he's in class. He has not been chatting though. If you do not chat, I will give your wife to another person. You just say Otilo, say bye bye. Say bye bye to Dora. Dora is going with another person. I will look for somebody that is active. I will dash Dora out now. Ah, I don't want to hear divorce. So what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Okay, let's go to number 5 and the last one. The last character of expository text is that they are supposed to be factual. Now, let me tell you one important thing about expository text. What you don't know, you cannot go and expose someone to it. You cannot come and you cannot come to a stage with lies, with something you are forming up. Expository text must be factual. Like this must be something like if you teach me finish now, when I go home, I want to practice that thing you've just exposed me. Like let's see what you are. I don't know why I keep saying how to paint a room. It's because there was one expository text in the TMA this semester that is about painting of a room or something. So if you should come to teach us now or expose us to how to paint a room, by the time we get home and maybe my house has not been painted before, based on the exposition I've listened to under you, I now want to follow it step by step. I should be able to get results by using the exposition, the details, the explanation that you've given to me during your exposition to paint my room accurately. That is the meaning of it must be factual. So you must not be lying. It must not be something that you yourself you cannot even prove as a speaker. So expository text must be factual. They must be provable anywhere. They must give the same result if tried over and over again. Mr. K says organized in sequential order. They are formal. Thank you. They explain concept, idea, etc. And then they are supposed to be factual. Now you are taking number 5 as number 4. Number 4 is actually they explain text. I think you've mentioned that already. It's just that you've combined it into another text. So thank you, thank you. I am still looking for Big Eva. Big Eva, what's wrong? So we have 5 characters of expository text. Let's just quickly go through them in the form of summary. Number 1 character is that they are formal. Number 2 is that they do not tell stories. Number 3 is that they are organized in logical order. Number 4 is that they are texts that explain. They only give explanation. And then number 5 is that they are factual. Once you know those 5 characters, you are good to go with expository essays. So any essay in exam that is in the form of giving you an exposure to a concept, a theory, a plan that you don't know about before, it is called expository. Very sweet type of questions. Actually, questions in this part of the material or from this part of the material are always sweet in exam, but that is if you already know them. Because if you already know them, I used to see them like bonus questions, like when they give you a story and they say what kind of text it is. Those kind of questions are bonuses. So I just pray that you guys, as you are reading now, I pray that it will truly sink in your head and you'll be able to grab it. So that is all we'll read about expository text, sincerely, because we don't need to read and be analyzing any story that they give here. You already know the characters, so I'm very sure if any story at all should be given in exam, you'll be able to fish that out. So reading their own story here will be a waste of time. We don't have that time. And we still have like two more type of text, which I'm not sure. Let me see what's the time, because I want us to still take one exam section. We are just 1 hour and this is 11. So let's stop on. We've talked about expository and narratives and their characters. They can set questions from anywhere. They can set it under the characters. They can set it from the definition of expository or narrative. They can set it from some of those lines that we've just finished reading. So be expectant of questions from any point. In any case, I think we should just hold it here. One thing is, all through this week, we'll be checking important topics in the GST101, since that is the first paper you have, so that we will see how well both our marathon classes, the mock you are doing, and your own personal reading will help in the exam. That will now help us to re-strategize in the remaining courses. That is the logic we normally use during the exam. Once you use one approach to prepare for the first paper, the result you get in the first paper will now tell you if you should change approach or if that approach will be perfect for that semester. Now, the third type, okay, let's vote. Let's vote. I don't know how long you guys have tonight, because sometimes when we are doing classes like this, we usually need to bear in mind that most of us are workers and they will still go to work tomorrow. So let's vote. Let's just vote. Should we take one more, like reading and comprehension passages with tables? Should we take it tonight or we'll leave it to tomorrow's class? Then we'll go to the mock site now and do one exam section in GST 101. Which one do you support? Which one do you support? It's time to vote. Your vote will count. So if you want us to continue, just say continue. If you want us to stop here and go to mock, just reply mock. Okay, I think quite a lot of people are already dropping mock site. Yes, let's take one exam. Now we have been reading narrative. It's now time to go and test whether your brain is narrative. Yes, we will start GST 101 now. This is an exam section. We'll try to finish it. Yes, we have another important class to hold before exam. You guys should remind me. We need to treat the part of your material that talk about sound. They usually ask questions. You can't even escape that one. They will ask you questions on sound, on syllables, sounds, syllables, and the rest of them. So it's all those ones that are under sound. So there's a part of the material that talk about sounds and syllables. Please, let's make sure we read it before exam. Let's practice it. Let's look at. We may not know how to use some of those sounds. I don't know if we have some of you that are good in phonics and the rest of them. Some of you are teachers in primary and secondary school, so you will know some of those answers. Some of those vowel sounds and the rest of them. Consonants. The language of science is often dash. So many people are already going for B, technical. That is correct. The sound occurs in the word dash. I think this sound is I really don't know sound much. I will not lie, but I still remember this one very well. That is a sound of TH, but the one you call with style, not just. So what's question number 2? What's the answer to number 2? I hope this thing is showing well in your side, yeah? Or should we still bring it up a bit? Let me see bringing it up a bit if it will work. Okay, it will work. Number 2D, this. Okay, anything you pick is what I'm going with. Question 3, the type of essay that present arguments in support of or against a proposition is known as dash essay. We have not even gotten to this one. We have not done this one, but the answer is obvious. 3 is D. Thank you. Argumentative. The sound ch occurs in the word dash. Is it church, thin, sheep, judge? What is question number 4? What's the answer to question number 4? Okay, some people are saying 4 is also D. Let's hear from more people. Mr. Case want to blow my head today. Oh. The rest of you, Mona be like Mr. Case now. Thank you, Mr. Case. So God bless you. You see, my God bless you is very rich. Oh, you see that God will truly bless you. My mouth is very rich when I say God bless you. It's even more than me praying for you. Okay, George. All right, you guys are already going for D. Huge data collected across period of time are stored in form of dash. Huge data collected across period of time are stored in form of dash. This question was look like GST103 question. I don't really know what is looking for here, but someone said the answer is data bank. Thank you. Data bank. Okay. Question. Wow, this question dey fast today. You guys have done just one. You are not used to the question. You need more than words to dash. You need more than words to dash. This one is an obvious one. Very obvious one. Very obvious one. You need more than words to dash. More than words to do what? Yes, yes, yes. Question number 6. You need more than words to comprehend. C. Thank you. Peter Gojim is not B.O. Go and read your material very well. Question 7. My first day in the university is most likely a dash type of essay topic. My first day in the university. What do you think that person will want to be telling you? When somebody say my first day in the university, it's not narrative. If I say my first day in the university as a topic, what do you think I'll be writing? I will be exposing you to what is in the university. Probably the person is saying it to people that are in secondary school. So they want to know, they are curious, how does the university look like? What did they do there? So what the person will be saying will be exposition. You'll be exposing your audience to the university. So the answer is, that is why I'm saying you have, thank God we just finished reading it now. The characters is that it explains a concept. So this person now, my first day in the university, the person wants to explain the concept or the theory, the order of things in the university. Question 8. The sound, well, I don't know how to call this sound, occurs at the end of the word dash. Read that question very well. They say at the end, not at the beginning. It occurs at the end of which of the following words? Is it saying bat rather, fan or cup? I don't even know the sound because I'm not that good in sound. I will not lie to you guys. Okay, 8 is A. They say sing. Thank you. So that means the sound is ing. All right, facts are recorded as dash information. Facts are recorded as dash information. Facts are recorded as dash information. 9. Facts are recorded as dash information. Okay, somebody said true information. I don't know if that's correct, but I'll write it there for you guys. Now, question 10. The sound, is this P or what? Is classified as a dash sound. What kind of sound is this sound? Small letter P. Is it a vowel, a syllable, a consonant, or a diphthong? That is question number 10. What kind of sound is it? Is it a vowel, a syllable, a consonant, or a diphthong? That is why I say we need to read about sound. Please, you guys should remind, maybe tomorrow itself, once we are done with the other type of text we have, we should go straight to sound or Wednesday, but we will do it this week by God's grace. And some of our people are going for Salah. All those are Christian brothers and sisters here, Khadija and the rest of them. You guys should bring meat for us. So if you not bring meat, don't come back to class. Now, 8 is A. Okay, so many people are saying A. Are you sure it's a vowel, Sha? Is P among the vowel sounds? I don't know. I don't know sound, so I don't know if that's correct. Question 10. We're having C, consonant. Okay. So many C. All right, thank you, consonant. All right. Question question 11. Read the passage. Fine. These are the kind of questions we just finished studying about in the material. The accident happened on a rainy evening. A speeding vehicle lost control and crashed into a roadside shop. Many people gathered at the scene immediately. Which of the options is a term for this type of text? What has just been written here? Is it a narrative, an expository, a descriptive, or an argumentative essay or text? Yes, number 11. Okay, according to Peter the tutor, number 11 is narrative. Somebody is saying analytical, even when we don't have analytical there. Miriam, I know it's because your Salah cloth is already in the house. You are using one eye to look at the Salah cloth, you are happy, and you are using one eye to look at the question. So you are now using what is not even in the option as the answer. All right, so many people are going for B, so many people are going for A. I don't know, I will just choose A for you guys, but I think it's very obvious there. If it's A, what are the characters of A? Narratives. They are what? They don't use formal languages. You understand? They are mostly informal. They follow a storyline, sequential order, and so on and so forth, and the rest of them. All right, go for A. Question 12. Critical thinking is the hardest work we do while reading. Hence, the slogan, a critical mind is an dash. An intelligent mind, an effective speaker, an active listener, an analytical reader. Complete that slogan. What is the slogan? Okay, they say today is it Zainab's or Khadija's anniversary? I don't know. But me, I know that Salah is very close. So it's possible it's Salah that is stopping her. Intelligent mind. Okay, I'll go for that. That's what you guys want to go for. This another sound, F. I don't know if it's F you call it, but at least I'm seeing F here. What is the sound? The sound F is what? Is it nasal, vowel, voiced, or voiceless? So we have voiced and voiceless sound. So when you want to call F, is it voiced or voiceless? Okay, they're saying D, say it's voiceless. Okay, F. All right. 14. Reading to locate specific information quickly is known as dash. Reading to locate specific information quickly is known as dash. I have taught you this one over and over and over and over again. So you should know it even in the dream. This issue of skimming and scanning, we have explained it over and over and over and over again. Okay, somebody said it's scanning. Are you sure it's scanning? All right, scanning. Okay. 15. Reading different types of materials with pleasure and comprehension is an indication that you are reading at dash speed for pleasure and comprehension. What kind of speed do you use for reading for pleasure? When you are reading for pleasure, what kind of speed do you use? When reading for pleasure, what kind of speed do you use? When you are reading for pleasure, what kind of speed do you use for reading for pleasure? Average. Thank you. Like I've said that the kind of speed you use for novels, storybooks, they are called average speed. And those kind of reading are also called reading for pleasure. When you are reading a novel or storybook, you are reading for pleasure, not that you want to learn academic things or anything. One factor affecting comprehension is limited language and dash. Limited language and what? What's the second thing that can limit your comprehension when you are reading? When you don't have enough language. I'm not sure the answer is vocabulary. I think we've made this question before and we chose vocabulary, which I am not sure we got. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. Okay. Somebody said concentration. I don't know. Quite a lot of things you guys are coming up with. Well, let's see. We'll see when we submit. Now, technical terms are common features of dash text. You guys, this one, you've seen I think question 1 of this particular attempt we are doing is multiple choice question and it's the same question. Scientific. Thank you. Guys, go and learn spellings. That is what will fuck some of you up in the exam. It's not like you don't know the answer, but the spelling is the issue. Now, read the passage. The hotel room was large and comfortable. Soft music played quietly in the background, while the air conditioner kept the room cool and refreshing. Which type of AC? In fact, this one is very obvious. What kind of AC is this one? Very obvious one. Is it narrative, argumentative, descriptive, and expository? The way the thing was presented is making it sweet, like you already know what they are doing here. What is this person trying to say or do? Somebody is arguing that sound and syllables are not in GS101. Well, when we want to do it on Wednesday, make sure you attend Wednesday class. You will know whether it is or not. Okay, 18 is descriptive. Yes, that's correct. Now, 19. The listener who merely hears words without understanding them lacks dash. The listener who merely hears words without understanding them lacks dash. Lacks what? Is it comprehension, anticipation, concentration, or hearing? 19. 19 is A. Somebody said A. Okay. Number 20. One major aim of note taking is to dash important information. One major aim of note taking is to dash important information. Is it criticize? Is it ignore, reject, or preserve? Number 20. 20 is D. Thank you. I'm not sure we'll finish this text. We might likely stop at halfway because my system battery is somehow low. Which of the following is a feature of expository text? Thank God. This is what we just finished reading. I love this question. It came in handy. What is the answer? Somebody chose 21B. Damilola, were you in class when we were reading narrative text? And you still chose B. Everybody give Damilola a knock in the head. Hot one, fresh from the oven. Suspense. Fact and explanations are for expository. If you still remember the characters that we just finished reading just a while ago. Now, scientific text may include formula, tables, charts, and dash. Is it parables, poetry, fiction, or symbols? This one, the answer is very obvious. I love to see these kind of questions in the exam. 22, the answer is very obvious. D, thank you. Which of the following is not true of expository text? Fine. These are the questions that came in handy of what we just finished reading, studying tonight. These are the way they ask questions on them. What are the features of expository text we have learned about? We learned 5 of them. Now they're asking us which of this option is not one of them. 23. They may contain scientific information. They are less formal than narratives. They explain concepts. They are factual. The answer is B, thank you, because they are more, not less. You see the way they said the question. If you are not careful, when you see the narrative, you will think it's part of it since there is something like that in the features. But now they've changed more to less. Be very careful when you are reading questions like this. Now, consonant sounds are produced with some degree of dash. Consonant sounds are produced with some degree of dash. Is it stress, obstruction, intonation, rhythm? 24. Somebody is saying 24 is B. Are you guys sure it's B? I would rather go for those that chose A. That your B is looking somehow. 25. Which speech sounds are generally divided into vowels and dash. Speech sounds are generally divided into vowels and dash. The person that is saying there is no sound in GS101, make sure you attend the class on Wednesday. You will see whether there is or not. Okay, they said A. Thank you. Okay, guys, let me see how many minutes my battery is having left. Before we know, maybe we should continue. I have 26 minutes left. Oh, okay. Let's get to question 30 and submit. I don't have you people. NEPA did not bring light today. A listener should participate actively in the communication dash. A listener should participate actively in the communication dash. What is a suitable word to fill that gap and complete the sentence? Question 26. Okay, somebody said process. I don't know. Let's follow you. All right. Question 27. Here is a passage. Last holiday, comma, my brother and I traveled to Kano to visit our grandparents. We boarded a night bus from Lagos and arrived early in the next morning. Early the next morning rather. During our stay, we visited many interesting places. Which of the options in the term is for this type of text? Is it argumentative? Is it descriptive? Is it narrative? Is it expository? What kind of text is it? Yes, what kind of text is it? 27, we are having C, narrative. Okay. All right. So let's move on. 28 is also a passage. The woman walked slowly into the room. She wore a long black gown decorated with silver beads. Her bright shoes glittered under the light while her perfume filled the atmosphere. What kind of essay is this? 28 is what? Okay, 28 A. Okay, so the person that is saying D, what are you exposing somebody to in a woman that wore perfume and fine shoe? What is the exposition there? Who is that person that said D? Peter or Jim? I don't even know what I want to say now. Your own is more than a knock. We'll buy sachet of water and stone you out of the class. All right, 29. Note taking means the act of taking notes from lectures or dash. Note taking means the act of taking notes from lectures or dash or what? Or what? Yes, nobody is answering that question. Fill in the gap. Okay, they say speech. Okay, okay. Now, 30. The activity of jotting down notes from textbooks, journals, or study text is called dash. In fact, these are things you should have digested by now. Skimming and scanning, note taking and note making, those ones, they are things that you should be so confident about them now that any question at all, you should be able to answer it speedily. Thank you. Note making. I think Dora will understand better now the meaning of the hyphen that is in between. All right, guys, I will submit now because my system, or sorry, my PC battery is low. Will not be able to finish the text. So let's see. We solved 30 questions. What did we score, and which ones did we fail? All right. We actually answered 30 questions. We scored 26, which means we failed 4. What are the 4 we failed? Let's check. I hope it's not part of those questions in. Oh my goodness. Why did we fail this question? I don't like the fact that we failed it. My first day in the university is actually a story. That can also be an exposition. depending on the context. Well, the answer is narrative for abeg if you see it. And some people chose narrative or we wave them off. Sorry, you were correct. Which of the following is a feature of expository text? Ah, it was narrative we read in this question. How did it change to expository? Goodness, it was narrative we read though. How did this question change to expository? We actually did not see this question well, seriously, because we know the answer for sure. But it was narrative I read out. I don't even know. Yeah, I think my eyes is already paining me. I don't try today. Oh my goodness, this one is very funny. This thing happen in exam too. Something you know, you still fail it. Probably your eye or your mind skipped it or something. Now, consonant sounds are produced with some degree of obstruction. Wow, and somebody mentioned that. Someone mentioned obstruction. Kudos to that person. Kudos to that person. And which one did you fail? 29. Wow, I love this kind of feeling. It is speeches, not speech. And I don't know, maybe it's speeches that you guys wrote, or maybe I was one that just wrote speech there for you. Sorry if I was one that just wrote speech. Let me go back and check because I don't want to guys. Wow, you guys wrote speeches. In fact, Mr. Case wrote it in capital letters so that I will see it. I still wrote speech. Sorry, that one is on me. You guys should give me a knock on the head. All right, thank you guys tonight. We've done absolutely well. My system is very, very low. We can't continue. But I'm very sure that we've learned a lot today. In fact, I love what we've learned today. The narratives and the expository, their features and their characters. And of course, we've practiced a bit. It's a wonderful moment with you guys. All of you that dash me money, your accounts will not run dry. Oh. God will dash money. This week, your money will come back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And every one of you that have attended and you stayed to the end, you also paid money for data to join. God bless you all. I wish you guys luck and success in your exam. Have a wonderful night.